is for a very valuable group of people in our community, in our country. So the work that you are doing is also helping our country, and well done.
I'm heartened by the opening comments of the chair when he says that you do make a difference. Let me tell you, as a person that came, school didn't like me, or I didn't like school, but I slipped through the classrooms, and I hid it from my own problems by creating problems in class that people wouldn't relate to that, or people in this room would relate to that, and I spent more time in the corridor than I did. But what you do, you make a difference to people's lives, because I don't know, I said this outside in the corridor, John, who was a very good friend of mine, all my years and growing up, but when I am where I find myself today, I now find myself doing more education gigs, such as this, if you want to say that for the right word, over the last number of months in particular, but where I've met students that wouldn't have survived without coming through this system, the help that you give them. And sometimes students don't reach out and say thanks often enough, but when they get older and get wiser, they realise when they get on in life the achievements that they achieve through yourselves. And I'm one that completely support what you do, and even at government table about 3 weeks ago we had a long discussion in relation to education, and particularly linking education with mental health and trying to help the people out there that need it most. So I applaud you for the wonderful work you do. I congratulate you for having this organisation, setting it up and helping people like me.
Because every year, you know, when the Leaving Cert results come out, and you listen to them on the radio, and they're talking about Jimmy Murphy down in Cork, who got 625 points, and the number of students who got 8 H1s, and they're pictured on the paper and they're holding the script. And I'm going, where are the LCAs? You know, they never mention the LCA students, and it's a crime that they don't. One of the rules Cathy and myself have in the school is, you know, the media might ring up, and we would have success stories in the school at that level too. I refuse, on principle, to comment to any newspaper about Leaving Cert results on the basis that they never ask me about the LCAs. Ask me about my LCAs, and then I may talk to you. Because they are as valuable and as important to us as the Leaving Cert students. And what we're missing time and time again is that people are different. They're diverse, they're creative, they're curious, they learn in different ways. And that's, when we speak of LCA, is our mantra. People learn in different ways.
I enjoy going to college. I haven't missed a day yet, just like in LCA. LCA gave me a routine of being consistent and staying motivated and to be in all the time. And what I also learned was that you need to be responsible for yourself, to understand that it is up to you, and being consistent is the key to life and success. So in the future, I expect to be working with young people, and I think I can bring a lot of wisdom, advice and understanding through a mix of activities and shared experiences, and building relationships and human connections.
And one of my first jobs was to look at some of the LCA module descriptors, because they were due for revision. In fact, they were well overdue for revision. Anyone who taught ICT and looked at the module descriptor and saw where it said floppy disks, and looked at the maths applications and saw where it said convert from punts to euros, knew very well that these module descriptors that were written in 1995 and were very advanced for their time actually needed a lot of work. So all of the LCA modules need revision, but we selected 3, which then became 4 as the starting point. So English and Communications, because the English had come through junior cycles, so that was a logical place to start. Maths applications, because Project Maths had sidestepped LCA, and the other one that really needed the work was ICT. So obviously all LCA students did the ICT introductory module, which meant then we had to look at the ICT specialism as well, because you had to look at the two of them in conjunction. So one of the things we've tried to do is to look at the idea of key assignments. And a key assignment can be differentiated in your classroom. So you're looking at a key assignment that is able to be pitched at the different levels, because in your LCA classroom you have very different students to what was there in 1995.
We adults lack a lot of these skills, and and then we expect these kids to have these skills. And this was brought out to me very, very much when I gave a talk to 150 kids, which I rarely do, in my local school. They were Leaving Cert students, and I asked them for a list of things they'd like me to talk about. Well, it was fascinating. These were kids about to leave school to go to college. They wanted to know what was depression, how do we get rid of panic attacks, how do we deal with failure, how do we deal with coming out, how do we deal with relationships, how do we deal with the fact that our parents are always on our back, wanting us to succeed. All of those kind of questions were the questions they were asking. And these were questions that these young people were asking just before they left to go to college. So what does that say about our education system? That they didn't have, in many cases, the skills to be able to answer some of those questions. The three big things that are coming up, maybe four big things coming up all the time: stress, depression, anxiety, and probably misuse of substances. They're the four things that keep coming up. So life is a roller coaster, and we're all exposed to these continuous stresses. So what I want you today, I want you to forget that you're teachers. I want you to remember that you're adults, you're human beings, and I want you to try to see whether there's little tips that you can learn today, because if you can learn them, you can pass them on. Is that 25% of people will present for the first time with a first bout of depression between 15 and 18. And another 25% will present between 18 and 25. So in total, 50% of all cases of depression will present for the first time between 15 and 25. So that's a real eye-opener.
Just before we finish on the awards, we have another award, special presentation to make, and we want to make this presentation to Tom, who has done such a good job with our award ceremony today. Tom resigned as chairperson last year, a position he held from 2008, almost 10 years. And remember, this is voluntary work. Tom joined the NALCAC, which it was originally, at our 10-year celebration of the LCA at a major conference in the Red Cow Hotel. I remember Tom saying at the time that he liked what we were doing and that he would give it a go, and so he joined our executive. He certainly has done that and has been generous in the expertise he shared with us as a teacher of mathematical applications, a coordinator, as an examiner of the VPG task work, and as a marker of mathematical applications in the state exams. His knowledge of the marking schemes and common errors in task interviews certainly has helped many LCA teachers and schools throughout the years. Tom really does believe strongly in helping schools and teachers understand the mistakes that are made in exams and task interviews in order that things can improve the following year. However, it is his dedication to the organisation of the annual Fergal Quinn Awards that we really want to thank him for. He has conscientiously liaised with the State Examinations Commission, schools, students and families to ensure that days like today run smooth and are enjoyed by all who attend. In particular, his enthusiasm and respect for the students who collect the awards has been extraordinary. So Tom, thank you so much for all your hard work as chairperson and executive member. We are so delighted that, in your own words, you have taken a back seat but remain with us on the Alcana executive, and that we will continue to enjoy your friendship, good humour, wit and knowledge for many years to come.
You know what the Pieta House does. We are a crisis intervention service for people with suicide ideation, who have attempted suicide, who have self-harmed, and now we have extended our service to give bereavement counselling. We also work with children under the age of 18. I'm the clinical manager in Pieta Midlands, so we cover all the Midlands area here. And it is astonishing to look at the statistics there, really, because the majority of our clients currently are under the age of 18. We at the moment have 11 clients with us who are under the age of 12 years of age. So our service is incredibly important. It's free of charge, and you guys make that happen. So it's always great for me to get the opportunity to come as a clinical person and thank you, because when we welcome people to Pieta House, they're welcomed with warmth and compassion. They're given a cup of tea and saucer, and they're treated with dignity and respect. And we could not do that without the support we have gotten from the schools and people like yourselves. So thank you so much for that.
When FIT actually designed the programs and got them up and running, what we had to think about was what these programs were going to look like in practice and how we could actually bring an employer-led focus into them. The tech sector in Ireland is very demanding of its labour force coming in. We're very aware in FIT that there's actually 12,000 open opportunities in the market today for tech sector workers. And that's a huge figure. They're all high quality positions and high quality jobs. FIT has done a lot of research in the last few years, and we've published 3 separate audits around skills gaps in the ICT sector in Ireland. The most recent skills audit we completed told us that we had actually 12,000 open vacancies. What was really interesting in that was that the market is to an extent saturated with graduate level programs or postgraduate programs such as BSc in computing or Masters of Science in computing. But what we noticed was that there was a huge hunger for skills at an intermediate level. So a lot of these technology companies are telling us we cannot get people to do the day-to-day tasks, the engine that drives our organisation. And that was one of the key factors in the development of these apprenticeships, to look at skills at an intermediate level and meet that.
From this presentation is that Young Social Innovators Senior Action Programme is suitable for LCA. Sometimes I think YSI or Young Social Innovators is seen as a transition year programme, but actually we do have teams and schools and youth reachers involved who are doing it as part of their LCA programme. The features that will be needed are that it's a team of young people guided by an educator. A team could be as small as 5 students, so if you have 5 interested students, that's absolutely fine, or it could be up to a full class. And actually we've had real success with those small teams because sometimes they're really engaged students who care about a social issue. We have schools that do it as extracurricular sometimes, so it's almost seen as a YSI club. So there's lots of different ways. We pride ourselves on it being flexible for your own school's context. So I suppose it runs the academic year, so it would be from September, October through to April. And if you were to sign up, you do receive, there's optional educator training or teacher training available in September to get you started.